Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, January 11th. I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us tonight. It is opening day for the 2017 Maryland General Assembly session. While the budget remains a top priority for most lawmakers, a brewing scandal is rocking the very core of the legislature. Patricia Vallone has more from the State House.
Moving our state forward. We're not going to go back on civil rights, women's rights, workers' rights, the environment, health care, public safety, education. It's going to be a can-do session. We're going to make positive things happen.
There were talks of a tax cut last year when the state had a small budget surplus, but it's doubtful that will happen now with a budget gap of more than $500 million. During today's opening session, House Speaker Michael Bush talked about the effect today's economy is having on Maryland residents.
So our job is to make sure the working men and women feel like they've had the opportunity while we're here for this 90-day session to improve their lifestyle. That we are creating a path for them to be in the workplace, to move forward, to have the ability to provide for their families.
Other issues expected during the 2017 legislative session include paid sick leave, the opioid epidemic, inequity in the criminal justice system, and the lack of diversity among the state's licensed medical marijuana business owners. Democrats also plan to override Hogan's veto of a renewable energy law and blocked his attempt to repeal a law that scores transportation projects, something the governor has referred to as a roadkill bill.
When you are actually funding transportation projects, we told the governor his department must have certain criteria. He's going to have an emergency bill to repeal that bill because our bill that we passed last session goes into effect in early February, and he does not want it to go into law.
Noticeably absent from today's opening session was Delegate Michael Vaughn, who reportedly resigned his position citing health reasons. Speaker Bush tells CTV that he heard about Vaughn's departure, but is yet to see the official resignation letter. The FBI has said that more arrests are expected in the liquor board scandal that has rocked Prince George's, including someone in the House Economic Matters Committee who voted in favor of the Sunday liquor sales bill. Vaughn is reportedly the only one who fits that description. Bush indirectly addressed ethics issues during his speech today.
You're an experienced legislator that knows the process, and we expect everyone to conduct themselves in that manner.
From Annapolis, Patricia Vallone, CTV News.
Thank you for that story, Patty. Former state delegate and Prince George's County Councilman Will Campos has responded to the charges of bribery and conspiracy against him. In a statement to CTV, he said he is saddened and embarrassed by his actions. He went on to say, "I truly apologize to you all, my friends, supporters, and to my family. I admitted to my transgressions from day one." And this is all quoting, as you can see there. Campos also says that he is relieved that the investigation has come to an end. Campos pled guilty to bribery and conspiracy. He was elected to the county council in 2004 and served until he won a seat in the House of Delegates in 2014. He later resigned from that. We asked a number of people for reaction to Campos and other allegations of corruption in the county.
You know what? Corruption is so rampant right now, and the whole political fabric right now, and the fact that he pled guilty says something a little bit about his character, but really it's just running rampant right now, and it's just mistrustful of any public official.
I think it's a disgrace, and the county deserves better. That's it.
It's been going on for quite a while in different instances. Do you think the county will be able to get out of it or get a better image at some point?
Well, we've been, going on with this Jack Johnson thing for a while, and eventually I think it will get better. Eventually, yeah.
I don't like it. What can I do? I can only do what you're looking at me to do now, talk about it. No, I don't like it.
Campos is scheduled to be sentenced on April 10th. In a separate case, 2 Prince George's County Liquor Board members and 2 businessmen have been charged in a pay-for-play scheme. The Maryland U.S. Attorney announced those charges last week, but would not say how or if it is connected to the Campos case. Meantime, Republicans in the House of Delegates select 2 leaders. Kathy Szeliga was reelected to Minority Whip. She represents District 7, which includes parts of Baltimore and Hartford counties. Also, Delegate Nick Kipke will serve as House Minority Leader. He represents District 31B in Anne Arundel County. Both have served in these roles since 2013. We are just 9 days away from Inauguration Day. Today, President-elect Donald Trump held his first press conference in New York since winning the election. Incoming Press Secretary Sean Spicer began the conference by lashing out at several news outlets for publishing an uncorroborated intelligence report. Trump told reporters he has no deals or loans in Russia. He also formally announced that his 2 sons and a longtime advisor will now manage his organization.
A lot of car companies are going to be moving in. We have other companies. Big news is going to be announced over the next couple of weeks about companies that are going to be building in the Midwest. You saw yesterday Fiat, Chrysler, big factory going to be built in this country as opposed to another country. We're going to create jobs. I said that I will be the greatest jobs producer that God ever created, and I mean that. I'm going to work very hard on that.
When a reporter asked Trump about his tax returns, he said he cannot release them because they are being audited, adding, quote, "The only ones who care about my tax returns are reporters." On Capitol Hill, it's day 2 of confirmation hearings. A number of protesters interrupted Senator Jeff Sessions' hearing yesterday. Today, former Exxon executive Rex Tillerson, who is President-elect Trump's nominee for Secretary of State, was on the hot seat. CTV spoke with newly elected Congressman Anthony Brown about his thoughts on the process.
The president-elect certainly is entitled to put his people forward, but the Senate has a responsibility to carefully consider, under advice and consent, is how they will approve a nomination from the president. You can't do that if you're not vetting the candidates. Most of the candidates have not filed their ethics and financial disclosure forms.
A number of senators, including Maryland's Chris Van Hollen, are asking Trump's cabinet nominees to disclose their potential conflicts of interest and if they will receive any bonus payouts for accepting the job. Saying it's good to be home, President Barack Obama addressed the nation last night from his adopted home in Chicago to give his farewell speech. The president used the spotlight to speak about threats to American democracy, his view of the future, and to highlight his administration's achievements over the past 8 years, including a growing economy, health care, lower unemployment, and taking out Osama bin Laden. The president called on all Americans to come together.
If every economic issue is framed as a struggle between a hardworking white middle class and an undeserving minority, then workers of all shades are going to be left fighting for scraps while the wealthy withdraw further into their private enclaves. If we're unwilling to invest in the children of immigrants just because they don't look like us, we will diminish the prospects of our own children, because those brown kids will represent a larger and larger share of America's workforce.
If you watch, you know that Obama became emotional when he spoke of his love and admiration for the First Lady and his 2 girls. You are watching CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.